Right, welcome back. It's been just over a month since I've done the Scout Trooper and Endor Diorama, along with putting the custom decals on my Corvette from Colin. It's next project time. I've had these two kits in my possession for about a year now, and I saw this Diorama on Britmodeller that used those kits. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have me a crack at them if I can get them cheap enough, because I love zombie films. You know, Resident Evil, World War Z, Z Nation. You know, the TV show, The Walking Dead. 28 Days Later. You've got the George A. Romero films. You've got a couple of zombie series and films from the Korean on Netflix, like All of Us Are Dead. That was a good show. And Sweet Home. I like the first season, but I couldn't get into the second one, so I didn't bother with the second and third. But yeah, I want to build a zombie diorama, so here's the next project. Right, so here's my two kits that I've picked up. So you've got the Zombie Hunter and the military miniatures for the bike. So the Zombieland series Zombie Hunter Road to Freedom is made by Masterbox in Ukraine. I've seen some of their kits of the various genres, and then really deep, well-detailed kits from what I can see. 1/35 scale. I don't know if you've noticed, but our heroine on the bike there, she looks a bit like Alice from Resident Evil Extinction. The third film in the Resident Evil series, you know, the one where they're in the desert. And she meets up with Carlos and what's his name from Resident Evil 2. My mind's going blank. I'll figure it out in a minute. But I think the clothes that she's got on, she's got a striking resemblance to Alice from Resident Evil Extinction. And with that being said, the diorama that I'm going to be building is inspired by Resident Evil Extinction. So you've got what I think is Alice, our heroine. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 zombies, and if you look carefully there, the policewoman, she's got the old police outfit on, the uniform. So I think what I might do is I might dress her up as not Stars police officer, a Raccoon City police officer. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Claire Redfield. I remember now that she meets up with Claire Redfield and Carlos and the caravan of people. So that's going to inspire my diorama. Now, don't think you're going to get a bike in this kit, because it says here this kit is not completed by a model of a motorcycle. You've got to buy the motorcycle set separately. Hence why I bought that. Going on the back, there's your instructions. There's no leaflet, no pamphlet, no instruction booklet. So there's all the numbers of the model parts. See a bit more of the police officer. That looks like a Las Plagas zombie because it's got the thing coming out of its mouth. So there is a lot of Resident Evil references in this. You can see the bike's greyed out. Now, to complete this kit, it says here, we recommend purchasing one of the following motorcycles from the following companies to create a full-fledged kit. But they're mostly World War II. So you've got a World War II sidecar. You've got the up-to-date Scrambler, which is the same, pretty much the same picture as the one I've got. Then you've got another World War II with a sidecar with what looks like a full-fledged machine gun. Then you've got another World War II, that could be maybe a military police bike. And then you've got another World War II possibly with another sidecar. But with the modern time, I'm going with the Scrambler. That's what I've gone with. So I'm putting that to one side. So for the Zombie Hunter, there's only one sprue. So mostly it's all parts of, you know, the legs, the body, the torso, the arms, the heads. What bugs me though, you actually get the equipment that goes on the back of the bike. So you've got jerry cans, supply boxes and rucksacks. So you get all those. There's a one rucksack there. Actually, I'm going to turn my flash on. Probably should have put this on, to be honest. That's a bit better. So you've got the one rucksack there. Another rucksack there. Two halves of two jerry cans. I think them might be mounting blocks, maybe. There's your last plagus that you got to glue on the front of that zombie's face. And like I said, just arms and legs, pretty much. And they look really well detailed. Not bad at all. Now, with the miniatures, it is the 135 scale Japan Ground Self-Defense Force Motorcycle Reconnaissance Set. And it says tank is not included, but I'm not really bothered about that. A nice bit of painting guide on the back. You get the two figures as well. So I'm going to be using those. You get two little miniature sprues, which are about the same size as my hand. And it's basically all the parts to the bike. You get two separate wheels. Bit of framework there. Bit more for the bike. That, I don't think that's an M16. I don't know what the Japanese rifles they use. Bit more bikes, and on the other side, you've got the bits to the figures, and possibly some decals as well. The brown's not showing up very well, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be primering these two sprues before I put anything together and paint them up. So once they're primed, they'll come out a hell of a lot better on the camera. So there's my boring rambling over of the two kits that I bought. So let's get cracking on. Right, so I've primed the bike sprue. I've left the figure sprue in the brown, but the detail's not too bad. I don't know if you can see that face there. Where's the face gone? There, behind my hand there. It's not too bad detail. And then you got one with a helmet on. But I've left that brown because I want to, much like the Masterbox, I'm going to leave them in the bare plastic, glue them together, then paint, primer, then paint. But I've painted, like I said, I primed the bike sprue. And the detail is not too bad at all. So you got the two wheels, you got the two halves of the engine block, and the fuel tank bodywork. You got the sprockets that drives the back wheels. You've got like the knee protection bar. That's probably goes inside there. Exhaust, that machine gun there. I don't know what that machine gun is. I don't know. It looks like some goggles with helmet. I don't know, maybe. Handlebars. Side pouch. Probably some more protective railing. And that's pretty much it. Oh, jerry can, probably some ammo boxes. That might be some kind of supply box. But generally not too bad. So that's the bike sprue all primed. Now it's time to start putting it together and painting it. Right, welcome back. So here's the instruction leaflet. It's not even a book. It's just half a A4 sheet folded in two, and there's 6 steps to putting the bike together. So that's steps 3 through 6. I'm currently on steps 1 and 2. So you've got the two halves of the main body to put together with the exhaust and whatever the hell that Y27 is. You've got the back wheel with suspension and the sprockets and chains. And then once you put all that on, you put the other side of the bike body on. I haven't done that yet because all I've been doing is painting. So I've painted the front and rear wheels. Well, I'd say that was the front. Hold on. That's the rear wheel. That's the front wheel. So I've just done the rubber in the anthracite, spokes in the silver, even though it tells you to paint the spokes in that green. And then the inner nut and inner brake and all that drive, I've just painted that in the anthracite silver with a bit of Tamiya clear yellow on top. You've got the suspension arm there. You've got the green, which is that is 36168 dark green. And you've got the various other bits. There's your chains and sprockets. So I've painted the sprocket mechanism is all in gunmetal. The chain is in silver, and the inner part is in the green. And then the bike body, just green, bit of black, and a bit of gunmetal for the engine parts. Now, the bike in Resident Evil Extinction is a BMW 1200 XC or KC. Obviously, this is probably based on a Honda Scrambler, so I haven't done the same colours as it would be in the Resident Evil film. I didn't see the point. If I could have got myself a BMW XC 1200, I would have done it in the same colours, but you can't get one of those in 135. So just painting these bits. These are now ready to come off the sprue, and then construction can start. Right, so I've done a bit of work on the bike to complete steps 1 and 2. So you've got to glue in what I think is an exhaust and some kind of secondary engine part that mounts onto the exhaust. So you put that piece in first. That triangular section there clicks into there. And then, getting my pencil. Oh, I use a brush, bollocks, dude. There's a little mounting notch on here, and that goes into a little channel there. Once that's glued in, then you put the exhaust box in. There's a little notch there which connects into a little hole round here somewhere, and then that little piece at the end, that connects into a little channel there. That's right, I got it wrong. There's a little notch there, and that clicks into a hole there, and then that glues into place. So you put that one in first, then that one, and that's what I've got. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but there you go. Then then the secondary part of step 1 is to glue the back wheel and all its bits and bobs together. So you've got this like arm, you've got the suspension coil, and this little arm that's already moulded onto the back of the wheel, the tyre. And then you've got the chain linkage and its assembly. So that glues into the back of there. That glues into the back on the other side, the little hole. And then right there, there's a little channel. And there's you've got a notch there and you've got a notch there. And you just slide that little peg there into the notch on this side, little notch channel. And that peg there, you slide it into that channel. And then, like I said, you glue all that on. And then once you put the glue on, you put your clamps on and leave it to dry. And that's what I've got. So I glued it there. I glued it there and there inside the little channel, and just put my clamps on and let that dry. And then step 2 will be basically just sandwiching the wheel in between the two halves of the body. And from what I can gather, you've got a mounting hole there for these 2 little pegs. I don't know how the camera's going to pick that up. You've got 2 little pegs each side of my finger. And 2 fingers pushed together. There's a peg and a peg. And apparently those lock into there. And then there's 2 little pegs on top of this suspension coil. And that basically locks into the hole there and the hole there. So I'll just demonstrate that. Let's get them into place. And then eventually, put the push down, eventually that'll fall fiddly, very fiddly.
Put that there, and eventually those. I'm just going to pause this a sec. Right, so what's very fiddly work indeed. So in there, like I said, there's a hole there and a hole there. You feed the 2 pins into there, and you sandwich all that together, and that's what you get. So that'll be, that'll be step 1 and step 2, all done. Very fiddly work indeed, but I got there in the end.